What's up guys, welcome back to Cover with Clinton. So in this video I'm going to show you how to make post request in the Django Rest Framework, understand. So in the previous videos we'll be making get requests, understand. We have been serializing data. So in this video I'll show you how to make post requests and also how to deserialize data, understand. So deserializing is just the act of making a post request, of creating new database items in the Django Rest Framework, understand. So if you check closely, we are simply getting data on this particular view. You understand? If you go down to the bottom of the page, you will see there is no form at the bottom. You understand? We are only simply getting data, but I'm going to show you how to make post requests, how you can create new data items. You understand? So go down to your code right now. So just on top here, currently this is the view that is trying to render out this stuff. You understand? That's the view there. So now we are going to list out, we are going to check out for a post request, and we are also going to check out for a get request, understand. So at the bottom on top here, we are going to simply check out, we are going to simply put this in the get request, understand. So we'll say if request dot method, sorry for that, if request dot method is equal to get, then we are going to pass this under this block, understand. So if it is a get request, we are going to simply have what you see here. So if it is a post request, you understand, I'm going to show you something. So I'm going to simply say if request dot method is equal to post. So let's see if it is a post request. So we are going to simply create a new variable. We are going to call this variable serializer. I'm going to simply say serializer should be equal to product serializer, and then, oh sorry for that, product I meant. So I said product serializer. So then we are going to pass in data should be equal to request.data. So this stuff we did here is the act of deserializing data, you understand. So just on top right there, if you look up here, just here we are trying to serialize, understand. On line 17 we are serializing data, but on line 21 we are deserializing data, understand. We are doing two opposite stuff, understand. So after you've done this, now we are going to check if the serializer is valid. If it is valid, you are going to save, understand. It's just like your normal forms saving stuff, understand. If the form is valid, we are going to save, understand. So we are going to check if the serializer is valid. So if it is valid, we are going to save it to the database, understand. So I'm going to simply say if serializer dot is valid. So then we are going to simply say serializer dot save, understand. So after we've saved it, you're going to return a response, understand. You must always return a response, you get. So you're going to simply say return response. We're going to simply say, mind the response is going to be in capital R, you understand. It's a capital R. So you're going to say serializer dot data. So this, what we are trying to return is simply the data we are trying to create, you understand. So that's what we are trying to do, you get. So let's see how the page still looks like. So if we check closely, we don't have the form yet to create data, right? So if you look just on top, you can see we have this decorator called API underscore view. So this decorator simply supports the get request by default, you understand. So if we check closely now, we are looking out for two methods, which is the get and the post. So now we need to like list out this method in this decorator. So I'm going to put in a list up there and simply say get, it should be in capital letter, get, and then I'm going to say post, understand. So after we've done this, now you're going to see some magic, understand. If you check now on the page, you're going to see a form. So refresh. So now we have a form to post data, understand. We have a form to post data. That's good, that's awesome. Okay, so now this data you see here is in the form of this stuff, is exactly in the form of this, except it's not having it. Okay, I'm going to copy it again. I'm just going to copy it so that you don't get confused while trying it yourself. Remember, the source code is in the description of this video, you understand. So check out the source code below. So I'm going to post it again here. I need to remove this description because it's too long, it's too much. I'm going to simply remove that description and put something short. I'll say description. Okay, so now this ID is not needed because the ID is auto generated in a stance. I'm going to remove the ID from there. So it has been removed now. So I'm going to now we want to create a new product, right? So I need to call this product a different name. I can simply call it Apple. You understand? Apple, or let's just say Lagos Apple, or let's say London Apple. London Apple. You understand? So this category is not really important. I can remove this category because if we check closely, I'm going to take you back to the source code right now. If you go down to the serializer.py file, if you check closely, okay, the category was listed, right? But if you check the models.py file, you find out that the category isn't necessary. You can see we have blank true, we have null true. So category is not necessary, you understand? Even though if you remove category from here, there is no problem, you understand? So I'm gonna put in the slug as London Apple, you understand? London Apple. So now I think you can save. You can do yours the way you like, understand? So I think you can click on post. Oh, everything worked fine. You can see the data is being returned on top. You can see we have the data just on top here, you understand? You can see there, this data you have here is what we did here. Is what we, this is what you're trying to return. You can see we return the serialized data, right? You can see here that what we have on top here, everything is working fine. So if you go down, if you refresh this page again, you see we're going to have London Apple as part of the products, you understand? So just check out, you'll find London Apple. You can see we have London Apple. This is a new database item, understand? So now right now we are able to make a post request and deserialize data, understand? So that's it there. So right now you're going to learn how to update a given product, understand? So we are going to do that right now. So just yeah, we are going to check out for it to update a product. You are going to send a put request, understand? So before I do that, I'm going to show you something. So now I just need to just copy one of these IDs, just copy them and go down to slash. So let's see. So currently we can access this product again. So now we are currently on a particular product page, you understand? So we don't have the form to update a particular product, right? We don't have the form yet. So now let's go down to our views.py and let's do some changes in this time. So we're going to check. So now we're going to check out for a get request like we did before. We're going to simply say if request dot method is equal to get. So if it is a get request, we're going to simply return this stuff here. So we're going to pass that in. So now we're going to check out for a put request, understand? So for you to update a particular product, you need to send a put request. So I'm going to simply say if request dot method is equal to put. So now we're going to do something else now. So we're going to simply say serializer. Now we're going to simply say serializer should be equal to product serializer. Product serializer. So after you've done that, now we're going to simply say data should be equal to request or data. Hope you remember. So after we've done this, I think we're making progress. After you've done this, now we need to also pass in the instance of the product we are trying to update. Instead, we need to pass in the instance of that product you get. So this is the product right here on top, but this product you have here is only available in this if block, in the get block, you understand? So we need to make it available in the whole function. So I'm going to simply copy it out from here and paste it outside of this if, outside of the get block, you understand? So right now this product is available in the function, you understand? So right now I'm going to simply pass in the products as the instance we want to update, you understand? So just do this there. So we're going to simply check if serializer dot is valid. If serializer dot is valid, or what am I doing? But is valid. So that I'm going to simply say serializer dot save. Understand? So after we've done that, we're going to simply return the response. We're going to simply say return response serializer.data. Understand? Serializer.data. Okay, so that's it there. So hope you've not. So we are left with one more thing to do in a stance. So we need to simply put in this method in this decorator in a stance. So I'm gonna put in a list there and say get and put in a stand. Get and put. You get, so that done already. So we've done that there. So after we've done this now, so let's see how it looks like. So go down to the browser now, refresh this page. You're gonna see a form at the bottom. So refresh the page. Refresh. You can see we have this form at the bottom. We're going to simply copy this code now. Copy, Control C, paste here. So I want to update the name of this product. I want to update the name in the stand. So I can simply say the ID is not necessary. So I can call this product, and I can simply call it new basketball. You understand? New. Yes, I can simply put in new. So let's just say new basketball, and put in new at the bottom here, new in the stand. So after we've done this now, click on the put button. So it will check closely. This stuff is going to get updated from to new basketball in the stand. So update, click on put. You can see now we have new basketball, new basketball. So go down to this. So you're going to go down to the product view, and you see it has been implemented now. It's called new basketball. So let's see what it's called. You can see it's now called new basketball. New basketball. It's no longer called basketball. So right now I've showed you how to like make post and put requests in the Django Rest Framework, you understand? So that's how you do it, you understand? So after we've done this right now, so what I want to show you is this again. You can see this if else we did here, this if stuff we did here, this is not really necessary, understand? So as I said here, I said if serializer.is valid, if everything is fine, we have to save the data, right? But if there's an error, we can simply say else return response serializer dot errors. You understand? So if there's an error, understand? So if there's an error, we can simply return the error that we are getting. Understand? So but this is quite ugly, you understand? This if else is quite ugly. You can do the same thing at the bottom here. Control C, come down to the bottom, come down over here. So if there is a problem, we can simply find out what the problem is, you understand? So you get, so we've done this here now, but this is quite ugly. As I said, this is quite ugly. You get, this if else is ugly. There's a better way and a neater way of writing this kind of code. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So I'm going to remove this top. I'll remove them there and remove them. I'll simply do that. I'll do this now. Simply say serializer dots. I will simply say serializer dots is valid. Dots is underscore valid. And then I'm going to simply put in raise exception. Raise underscore exception should be equal to true. You understand? So this stuff are simply cover that if else I showed you earlier. So after you've done this now, we can then save the data. You can then say serializer dot save. You understand? So you get, so now that's it there. You understand? Instead of writing that long if else statement, you can simply use just a line of code to remove that. You get, so you can do the same thing here. This is quite ugly. We're going to remove this 4 lines of code and use a single line to do this. So we'll simply say serializer dot is valid, and then raise exception, raise underscore exception. Understand? So after we've done this now, you can then say serial. This should be equal to true. You understand? Equal to true. So after we've done this now, we can then say serializer.save. Serializer.save, you understand? So I think everything should be fine now. Okay, so save your work now. Go down to the browser, refresh. There's no problem, everything is perfect. So go down to the detail page. Let's see. Control C, paste there. Everything should be perfect, you understand? So oh, I made a mistake. Copy one of these / enter, because everything is perfect, you understand? So that's it for deserializing data, instead making post requests, making put requests. So okay, so we've been able to make post request and put request. So once you also make the delete request, understand, so you can also delete items you get. So that's going to be on the API product view. Understand, we can only delete a particular product. Understand, we can't delete a list of products you get. So we can only delete a single item, right? So we're gonna check. We're gonna write the code under the API product you get. So just right here, I'm gonna simply put in the delete method. It should be in capital letter delete, understand? So delete. So after you've done this now, so go down here and refresh the page. So let's see. You can see now we have the delete button just on top here. So now we can delete a particular product you get. So but before we delete, we need to write some code you get. So just under here, we're going to simply say if request dot method is equal to delete, understand? So we're going to simply do delete you get. So after we've done this, after we've done that now, we can then say product dot delete you get. So after we've done that now, we can return a response. We can return a response. Again, we can simply return, or let's just say we can return response. I forgot what we had to return. So we can return response, and then we can return status should be equal to status. So we need to import this order status, understand? We need to import it. The other one I'm typing, the one on the right, we need to import it to get. So we're going to simply go up and say from rest framework import status. You need to import it on top here. So now that's it there. So we're gonna, after we've done that there, so we've imported status, right? So when we are then going to say status dot http underscore 204 no contents, you understand? No contents you get. So whenever you delete an item, it returns this status message you get. So now let's see, refresh the page now. If you check here, you can see we will see that status on top here. Right now we are seeing 200 okay. That means everything is fine. So once we delete this particular product, we are going to see that 204 no content on top here. That means there is no content available for this particular product you get. So we are going to simply delete. So click on delete and let's see. You can see now we see http 204 no content. So that's it there. What I want you to do is now I want you to make sure you convert these categories, convert it from I want you to make sure that we can create new categories. Understand? We can make a post request, we can make a put request on this categories API, understand, on this categories view. So just try it out yourself. I've showed you how to do that, so just try it out, understand? So we've come to the end of this video. So in the next video I'm going to show you how to convert this function based view to a class based view. It's as simple as ABCs. I'll show you how to do that in the next video, so stay tuned, understand? So the source code is down below, so check out the source code below. So do want to subscribe to Code with Clinton, like and share this video. You can support the channel on Patreon and on PayPal. The link is down below. So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.